Welcome back to Switch to Linux. Well, a new version of PCLinuxOS has just dropped recently, so we're going to have a look at it. This is PCLinuxOS 2019-09. So this is the September release. So PC Linux, if you are unaware, is a distribution that was originally forked in, I believe it was 2003 from Mandrake or Madriva. It was basically designed because the gentleman behind it did not want to have to deal with all of the other personalities involved in the coding world. And he is based out of Texas, so this is a Texas Linux distribution. There you go, go Texas. Any Texas guys represented? And he has his this distribution, and it is its own thing, so it's not based on Ubuntu, not based on Debian, Fedora, anything like that at this point. It's not even really based on Mandrake at this point either. It is its complete own thing, and it does actually have, it has a lot of neat system tools inside of it to help you along in all your different aspects. I do find that it's not the most user-friendly, so if you're new to Linux, you probably want to get a little bit more experience on Linux before you dive on into PC Linux, just because that it has a lot of quirks where, if I'm remembering correctly, this is the one that in the past it did not want to start the X server, and so I had to deal with some fighting with the X server to get it to actually work. And I had the same thing today, so I downloaded it, installed it. It's like, well, after you get past the X server issue, then I was able to get it installed, but then it wouldn't go full screen because VirtualBox guest editions aren't there. They do have a nifty tool to install VirtualBox guest editions, so once you do that, it breaks the X server again. I came this close to just saying, you know what, never mind. But I persevered and got the guy working, and now we are back to PCLinuxOS. So we kind of start here. Now, it has its own custom login screen, which can be a little bit confusing. Of course, this is my main user here, and it's prompting a username, not a password. So you got to click on this before entering your password. So this now should be full screen now because the VirtualBox guest editions are actually installed, and I have the X server working, I hope. So we should be able to have a quick look at this. So this comes in XFCE, KDE, and Mate. And I am, of course, using the KDE version, as you can see from the screen here. So we are logged in, and outside of getting the VirtualBox guest editions installed, I have not changed anything else on this system. So we're starting out here. We have our desktop icons enabled, and it does look like it is going single click to get into Dolphin. We do have set up on our panel, we have Synaptic Package Manager, we have a Configure Your Computer, the KDE settings, and of course Dolphin again. The menu that they're giving us is just the simple application menu where we have the searchable function, so we can search for whatever we're looking for, but it's otherwise just a very simple, very older school menu style. Not my favorite, but it's functional and it works. All right. So as far as the tools, one of the things that sets PC Linux out is we have this package here, which is a computer configuration package. This is the thing that will help you out with adding and removing software, which should load up Synaptic, which it does. All right, we have a sharing. We can configure FTP and web server. We have network sharing, and out of the box, it does interface with my workspace server, so I can access all of my files. It's not as easy just because of Dolphin. That's not a PC Linux issue. That's a Dolphin Linux. I do find that the contrast on this is a little goofy. Hovering over that gives us black text. But you can set up all of your different configurations. Now, the thing is, if you have tried this in the past and it didn't work, maybe you're running NVIDIA, they've resolved that where now you can get this shipped with NVIDIA drivers already set up and configured. But you can come in here and do some other stuff in here as well. So just quite a bit of various system tools, mostly applications, security, boot, setting up your X server. Now, if you're having trouble, maybe you've installed it and your X server is not working, how do you get into here? Well, log into your terminal as root and remove the xorg.conf file, and then reboot, and it should actually fix itself. So that's how you go. As far as applications installed, they do have the Guest Editions installer here. So if you are testing this out or you have a purpose to use it on a virtual machine, you can come right on over here and install the Guest Editions without having to fight with it anywhere else. And I found that this was completely flawless, other than the fact that it killed my X server. So again, get in there, install it, clear out that conf file, reboot the system, and we were working perfectly fine. Archiving, we have the ARC for zip files, and we have TimeShift to do a good backup. We also have a tool on here, I don't know exactly where it is, hopefully we'll find it, where it will allow you to take a full copy of your server. Excuse me, of your system. Files and everything. So basically allow you to copy your own file into an ISO, which is a great way to do a full backup or to distribute adjustments to your build. Maybe you're using this in your Office deployment and you build your own custom build with all the things that you need. We have LibreOffice 6.3. First time I've seen that one pre-installed on a distribution. So it does tell you this is rolling. So you are always going to have some of the latest things here. A lot of education tools. We have file tools. This is why I don't like this menu. It's hard to use. We have Bitwarden, BleachBit, Dolphin, FileLight, and we have Zulu Crypt, Zulu Mount. A pile of games, probably too many for your taste, but anyway, you do have that. Darktable, Digicam, so these are for more professional photography type things. We have some batch processors. We are running Krita, of course, instead of GIMP, mostly because we're running a KDE. I'm not sure if this runs Krita on the Mate or the XFCE versions as well. Megasync cloud storage. That's crazy. No, I really don't. I don't like it when systems put stuff like this on where I'd have to have some account with some service to use. There's Minitube. I believe this is a like a YouTube viewer. There you go. A new version. Just close. Let's do Switch to Linux. There you go. Oh, Chris Titus Tech is beating me on Switch to Linux, man. Come on, Chris. Come on. That's awesome. All right. So lots of cool stuff over here. That's good. So I've never actually used Minitube, but that's certainly something that that's there. Let's see. NitroShare, TeamViewer, and Thunderbird. We have Office, Calibri. So we already have a book server in here. Simple Note. I haven't seen Simple Note before. Let's boot that guy up. Again, it needs login with WordPress.com. A lot of tools on here that I don't like. I don't know. I'm finding this to be very bloated. We have Spotify, Strawberry, and Kodi, Audacity, Audio Recorder. It's good that we have some extra tools like PAVC is good to have on here. Audio Recorder. Some people could find use for that, but of course Audacity is Audio Recorder on steroids, so there's that. And then we have Clip Grab, which is a very good if you want to download a copy of videos that you like from YouTube. You can use Clip Grab from that. Kdenlive, Kazam, and again, there's some other things. So as far as everything else is concerned, we're going to get a good, most recent version of everything. This is rolling. So here's our various widgets. So nothing super surprising here. We do have actually more menu options if you go down here and show alternatives. We actually have application dashboard, application launcher, the menu. We also have simple menu and tiled menu based on Windows 10. Let's go ahead and have a look at that one. I've not actually had a look at that menu before. So I'm guessing we might need to add something to it. Oh, look at that. That's pretty epic. So if you are looking for something like that, you could, I'm not sure I'm a regular user of it, but Yeah, it has every bit of the absolute annoyance that Windows 10 Start Menu is. Everything I completely hate about Windows 10 Start Menu is all right here. That's pretty epic that this exists. Is this for KDE somewhere else? I don't know. Let me know. Wow, that's pretty cool. It's neat. It's interesting. I'm not a user, but I love options in your distributions. So for those that are into those types of options, we have that. So overall, my take. PCLinuxOS. I think that there's a lot of software packages in here like Mega and what was the other one that we saw earlier that we had to log in? Mega, Simple Note, all these login tools that most people probably aren't going to want to use. And so keeping the system clear of all those, also so many games involved here. It makes it for a very bloated system. But with all that being said, let's see if we can play this guy, shall we? With all that being said, I think overall it's a distribution that's good if you're looking for the types of things that it has for it, and but at the same time, it seems over bloated. It's a little complicated and a little bit more difficult to get running the way I'd like to get it running. In other words, you started it out and I couldn't even boot it without messing with the X server. So once those little things are hammered out of the way, the system should be fairly stable. I think overall it's good. It's just not for your basic person. It contains a lot of bloat and a lot of software I probably wouldn't like to use, but it also is for those people wanting a systemd free system. It does not have systemd, so you're going to get a rolling distribution with the latest packages you can possibly get. No systemd. And overall, I think once you get it running, I think it's going to be very good, very stable. It's good, it's snappy, it's responsive here, even on a virtual machine. So it's definitely a good Linux distribution. It's just one that you don't want to use as your first distribution. It might actually give you problems if you happened to do that. So with that being said, let me know your thoughts on PCLinuxOS in the comments down below.